Well, the sick and dangerous attacks against Tesla are not stopping. In fact, they appear to be getting worse.
Tesla dealership in Texas is raising all sorts of alarms about a series of attacks on Elon Musk's car company.
Anger at Tesla causing protests and giving some potential buyers pause, but not our next guest.
For a long time, Tesla was a pioneer in the global automotive industry as the flag bearer of the electric vehicle revolution. Especially with Elon Musk's vision, innovative models such as the Model S and Model 3, and advances in software and battery technologies, many have described the company as the automaker of the future. But in reality, the recent global trade war tensions, Donald Trump's tariff moves with European allies, and Musk's personal political outbursts have shaken Tesla in the European market. Statistics from January, February, and early March show that Tesla's European sales have almost halved, especially in Germany, where the decline exceeded 70%, a critical blow to Tesla. However, Musk used to have a strong image in Europe, and Tesla was even the best-selling electric brand in the Nordic countries. Now, the picture is completely different. The ongoing tariffs between the US and Europe on the one hand, and Elon Musk's controversial stance in EU politics on the other, have put Tesla firmly in a corner. While the American automotive giant is taking a heavy hit in Europe, Chinese EV giants like BYD are trying to seize the opportunity created by Tesla. Tesla's shares plummeted by a record 53% last month. The biggest threat to Tesla seems to be Europe's booming EV automotive industry, and especially China's BYD, and Trump is trying to fend it off with new moves. We will now assess Tesla's deep wounds in the US, Europe, and other countries. We will also take a closer look at Elon Musk and Trump's efforts to save Tesla, and how the US national automotive sector can be revitalized. We will also look at the impact of Donald Trump's tariffs on China.
It's 10 plus 10. In
10
case,
plus 10.
was there confusion on that?
There was, sir, yeah.
Okay, 10 plus 10. It's a second 10.
But first, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, turn on notifications, and give us a like to stay up to date with our content. Let's get back to our main topic without wasting any time, and look at the US plan to save Tesla in detail. First of all, let's look at Tesla's deep wounds in Europe with statistics. According to incoming records, as of February, Tesla's German sales declined by 70% compared to last year. Tesla, which sold 6,038 units in February 2024, could only sell 1,429 vehicles this February. In France, 44%, in Norway, 45%, in Spain, 44%, in Denmark, 48%, in the Netherlands, 34%. The figures present a serious erosion picture wherever you look. A few years ago, Tesla almost dominated the electric car market in countries like Norway. There are, of course, many factors behind such a massive collapse, but we can list the leading reasons as follows. First, Elon Musk's political stance. Musk has received a lot of backlash for actions such as his closeness to Trump in U.S. domestic politics and his public sympathy for far-right parties in Europe. For example, the allegation that he praised the AfD party in Germany, known for its populist and far-right rhetoric, caused great anger among left-leaning and center voters. All this has increased the number of people in Europe who say, "I would never buy a Tesla. I don't want to support Musk's policies." In fact, in a survey, 94% of more than 100,000 German respondents said they would never buy a Tesla again. This is seen as a boycott born out of political influence. While the negative perception of Tesla is growing, electric models from European brands such as the Volkswagen ID series, BMW i, and Mercedes EQ are gaining a firm foothold in the market as alternatives. The second reason is Trump's trade toughness towards Europe. When Trump says, "My main problem is with the EU, I will put 25%, 50% tariffs on them."
And it'll be 25%, generally speaking, and that'll be on cars and all other things. And
the EU imposes, or threatens, additional tariffs on American products. As competition increased, people started to say, "I would buy a Volkswagen ID.3 or Renault Zoe, Peugeot E208, or BMW i4 at a similar price. And this is eroding Tesla's share. The third factor could be Tesla's delay in introducing new models to the European market and changing customer expectations. For example, production of the Model Y could not reach full capacity at the Berlin Gigafactory, and there were delays. The pricing strategy has also confused people. While Elon Musk cut prices in the US, it was the opposite in Europe, or he did not cut prices aggressively enough. The question arose, why should I buy a Tesla? Rival brands offer similar features. The result, a big drop in deliveries. Tesla's situation in the US is not bright either. Although Trump supporters there like Tesla, the rest of the masses are moving away from Tesla because Musk is too unpredictable, and brands like GM, Ford, and European Asian brands have started to offer competitive electric vehicles in the US. This marks a period in the stock market where Tesla shares have fallen far from their previous peaks. Experts emphasize that Tesla's value in the stock market exceeded $1 trillion and then dropped to 600 to 700 billion. This fluctuation raises the question, is it because of Musk's political adventures or industry competition? The truth is probably a combination of both. Competition is increasing. Tesla is no longer the only innovative brand. At the same time, Chinese brands have also started to show up in Europe. BYD, NIO, etc. are attracting consumers by offering affordable but advanced electric vehicles. So it's not only domestic European brands that can exploit the anti-Tesla atmosphere, but also Chinese brands. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump, with his Secretary of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk, is looking for ways to save national manufacturing in the country amid the tariff crisis. Following the tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China, the automotive industry in particular has become one of the areas where the U.S. is looking for solutions. Tesla, owned by Elon Musk, is the leading brand in this regard. If you remember, Donald Trump organized an event at the White House and promised to buy a red Tesla to support Musk.
He makes an incredible product, and we're going to go out and tell people you can't do that stuff and support him. They got to support him.
Despite the ever-growing demand for low-carbon vehicles, Tesla's sales have continued to decline due to increasing competition from others in the electric vehicle, or EV space, as well as CEO Elon Musk's preoccupation with politics alienating some buyers and unsettling investors. Successive reports of slow sales have significantly affected the company's stock price, which has fallen about 28% in the past month. This decline was approaching the point of offsetting the post-election surge that took Tesla to all-time highs in mid-December and was largely responsible for the company's 18% increase in the last 6 months. Analysts pointed to the role of Tesla's CEO in the company's falling sales and poor stock performance. Musk's deep involvement in President Donald Trump's administration and the Department of Government Efficiency's waste disposal efforts, as well as his forays into the European political scene, were known for alienating some of the company's core customer base and triggering protests at Tesla factories and dealerships. But aside from Musk, some fundamental problems have also weakened demand for Tesla, such as growing competition from traditional automakers entering the EV sector, and strengthening foreign competition from EV specialists like BYD in China. The biggest threat to Tesla seems to be China and BYD. Tesla suffered the same fate in China. Preliminary data from the China Passenger Car Association showed that Tesla sold 30,688 vehicles manufactured in the country in February. This meant a 49% drop compared to the same month last year. In contrast, regional rival BYD reported wholesale sales of 318,233 units, covering both domestic and exported vehicles. This represented an increase of 161% from a year earlier. Sales in January fell 11.5% from a year earlier and 32.6% from December, according to a report released by the China Passenger Vehicle Association in early February. Experts stated that the decline in China-made Tesla sales was due to cuts in the production line in Shanghai, and argued that the decline in shipments would have been much less without these cuts. After Tesla's weak month in China, comprehensive data on domestic sales is expected to be published in the coming days. As we can see, in this critical period when the declines in Tesla continued, the U.S. wing made a very critical move to reverse this situation and increase national automotive production. This step, in which U.S. President Donald Trump provided Tesla with a saving hand, was to impose a 25% tariff on cars produced outside the U.S. At a critical time when Elon Musk's electric car manufacturer, Tesla, announced in a recent statement on its website that it has officially started operating in Saudi Arabia and will start sales next month. Trump's imposition of tariffs on vehicles manufactured outside the U.S. was quite remarkable. As we mentioned, President Donald Trump recently announced that he would impose a 25% tariff on imported cars. Trump dubbed April 2nd, when the tariff will take effect, as Independence Day. Mr. President stated that this decision will continue to stimulate growth. The White House suggested that this decision is aimed at boosting domestic production, but at the same time, it could put a strain on automakers dependent on international supply chains. In addition, the White House estimates that the new tariffs will generate $100 billion in annual revenue. President Trump's decision to impose a 25% tariff on imported cars is expected to have far-reaching implications for the automotive industry and the broader U.S. economy. But industry analysts warn that the move could disrupt global supply chains and lead to higher prices for consumers. Even American automakers source many of their parts from abroad. This means that the tariff hike, scheduled to begin in April, could increase production costs, limit vehicle availability, and reduce overall sales. Despite these concerns, Trump has defended the tariffs as a way to bring manufacturing back to the U.S., calling the current cross-border supply chains ridiculous and emphasizing that this situation is here to stay. President Trump cited South Korean automaker Hyundai's plans to build a $5.8 billion steel plant in Louisiana as proof that tariffs are helping to revive manufacturing jobs in the U.S. Financial markets reacted quickly to Trump's latest tariff announcement. General Motors shares fell about 3%, while shares of Stellantis, the parent company of Jeep and Chrysler, fell about 3.6%. Ford saw a slight rise. In the wake of these shifting dynamics, Trump has long made tariffs the centerpiece of his economic strategy, arguing that imposing duties on imports would spur domestic production and reduce the budget deficit. However, experts predict that the transition to U.S.-based manufacturing could take years, as companies will need time to plan, build, and staff new factories. Currently, just over 1 million people are employed in the local production of motor vehicles and parts. That is about 320,000 fewer than in 2000, according to data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Another 2.1 million Americans work in auto and parts dealerships. If fully passed on to consumers, the tariffs could raise vehicle prices by up to $12,500 and put upward pressure on inflation. This is an issue Trump has promised to address upon his return to the White House. With average vehicle prices already close to $49,000, many households could be excluded from the new vehicle market. To soften the impact, Trump has proposed a tax deduction for the interest paid on auto loans for vehicles made exclusively in the U.S. This move could offset some of the expected tariff revenue. The auto tariff is seen as part of a broader strategy to impose reciprocal duties on imports from countries such as China, Mexico, and Canada. Some of these tariffs, including on cars from Canada and Mexico, were temporarily halted after a backlash from manufacturers, but are scheduled to resume in April. In the wake of Trump's tariffs, Tesla is making an incredible breakthrough and setting its sails towards Arabia. This comes after Tesla's CEO, Elon Musk, has faced declining sales in some other markets due to his work in the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump, in which he has taken a prominent role beyond the Department of Government Efficiency. It is likely that Tesla's arrival in Saudi Arabia will significantly boost relations between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia under Trump. Tesla's move is also a notable advance for electric vehicles for Saudi Arabia, the world's largest oil exporter, which has long understood that it cannot rely on fossil fuels indefinitely. One of the impacts of the company's expansion into the Arab region is directly on global relations between the two countries. In other words, Tesla's arrival in Saudi Arabia signaled an easing of tensions between CEO Elon Musk and Saudi Arabia. This tension stemmed from Musk's effort to privatize Tesla in 2018. Trump has expressed his close relationship with the kingdom several times, and this month announced that Saudi Arabia has pledged to spend $1.3 trillion on U.S. investments, including the purchase of American military equipment. Donald Trump has also said he plans to visit the world's largest oil exporter on the first foreign tour of his second term. Now, Tesla's expansion into Saudi Arabia will further dynamize the relationship between Trump and the Saudi kingdom. So why did Tesla suddenly choose Saudi Arabia? Tesla already operates in several Middle Eastern countries, such as the United Arab Emirates, Israel, Jordan, and Qatar, but the company's largest market in the Gulf region is Saudi Arabia. To announce its arrival in Saudi Arabia, Tesla has announced that it will hold a launch event on April 10th, 2025, at Bujeri Terrace in Riyadh. With this move, Elon Musk will probably complete the missing piece of the puzzle. Tesla's announcement, on the other hand, included an open invitation for a launch event in Riyadh. The company clearly stated that it would be coming to Saudi Arabia very soon. This message received positive comments from Saudi users who were skeptical about the product's ability to withstand the desert heat and humid weather conditions, and started asking about vehicle prices, pointing to complaints from other users in the UAE. While positive sentiment towards Tesla is already sweeping Saudi Arabia, the Chinese side does not want to be left out of the competition. BYD, Tesla's biggest rival in China, aims to double its international sales by targeting the UK, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. The announcement comes after Elon Musk's electric car company faced challenges in Western markets. Falling sales in Europe and growing protests against the company and its owner have attracted a lot of attention in China. At the same time, BYD may be planning to retaliate against Tesla's move to expand into Saudi Arabia. BYD's status in the industry stems primarily from meeting China's huge demand for electric cars through domestic sales. However, the company's chairman told analysts that it plans to make international moves with the goal of selling more than 800,000 cars internationally by 2025. BYD chairman Wang Chuanfu confirmed on the earnings call that BYD will target the UK, Southeast Asia, and Latin America as Tesla, the second largest electric car company, grapples with falling stock value in the West and protests against Musk. The comparative sales so far of Tesla and BYD, two of the leading companies in the competition between the US and China for electric vehicles, give us important clues for the time ahead. At an important milestone for the electric vehicle industry, Chinese automaker BYD has reported record-breaking annual revenues of $107 billion for 2024, surpassing its U.S. rival Tesla in terms of financial performance. This achievement highlights BYD's growing strength in the global EV market. This record sales revenue figure represents a 29% increase in revenue over the previous year, driven mainly by strong sales of BYD's hybrid vehicles. The company's expansion beyond all-electric cars into the hybrid market has positioned it as a formidable competitor in an industry that is increasingly adopting a variety of powertrains. While Tesla remains a dominant player in the all-electric vehicle space, BYD's ability to capture a significant share of both the hybrid and all-electric vehicle markets has underpinned its impressive growth. The company's success is not limited to vehicle sales. BYD is further strengthening its market position by making significant progress in various sectors such as batteries, electronics, and new energy solutions. By strategically integrating its operations across these segments, the company has created a diversified revenue stream that supports its leadership in electric mobility. By comparison, Tesla, the U.S. leader in electric vehicles, reported annual revenue of $97.7 billion over the same period, making BYD's revenue significantly $9.3 billion higher. While Tesla's revenue is still significant and the company remains the global leader in all-electric cars, BYD's diverse product portfolio has enabled it to claim a broader segment of the overall market, particularly in hybrid vehicles, where it has enjoyed significant success. Tesla has long been considered a pioneer in the EV sector, but BYD's rapid growth and innovation has disrupted the traditional power dynamics. With competitive pricing, manufacturing capabilities, and a strong presence in China, the world's largest EV market, BYD is positioned to challenge Tesla on a global scale. BYD Chairman and President Wang Chuanfu expressed confidence in the company's role in reshaping the global automotive market. In a statement following the release of the company's annual financial results, Wang emphasized that BYD has become an industry leader in every sector, from batteries to electronics to new energy vehicles, breaking the dominance of foreign brands and reshaping the new landscape of the global market. This statement highlights BYD's commitment to challenge the dominance of traditional foreign brands, especially in key areas such as battery production and vehicle manufacturing. The company's vertically integrated approach, controlling everything from battery production to vehicle assembly, has enabled it to better manage costs and quality, enabling competitive pricing without sacrificing innovation. The intense competition between BYD and Tesla reflects a broader shift in the automotive industry, as countries and companies race to dominate the electric vehicle revolution. While Tesla continues to be at the forefront of EV innovation, particularly in autonomous driving technologies and cutting-edge electric powertrains, BYD's strategic expansion into hybrid vehicles, batteries, and other renewable energy solutions has made it an increasingly formidable competitor. As global demand for electric vehicles continues to grow, both companies are expected to push each other to further innovate. BYD's strong position in China, combined with its growing global footprint, gives it a competitive advantage, while Tesla's established reputation for high-performance electric cars and advanced technology remains influential in key markets. But the focus on international markets is expected to continue through 2025. BYD's attempt to enter North American markets seems unlikely. This is because both Canada and the US impose heavy tariffs on electric vehicles made in China. Now, with Trump imposing an additional 25% tariff on vehicles that are not made in the US, Tesla is expected to catch up with BYD in terms of competition and even surpass it. Thank you for watching.